Hello, my name's Kelsey.
And my name is Becky.
And we are the Sorry Girls and DIY YouTubers.
And welcome to the Drill Down.
You know the drill here. We are giving you a DIY guide to power tools, one project and episode at a time.
And today we're making something that every living room needs, a coffee table.
Okay, so let's talk about the tools you're going to need for this project. We're going to be working with a table saw, a drill, and an orbital sander. Don't be intimidated by the saw, stare it down, always follow a safety first mantra, and with a partner in crime by your side, you are on your way.
Let's talk about the basics of using the table saw. So this tool is used to cut through super heavy duty wood, so make sure you keep your fingers away from the blade at all times. And before you even plug this in, make sure you go over the safety features of the tool. We have the saw blade guard, which we actually aren't using today, but we will use for other projects. The riving knife and the anti-kickback pawls are all designed to keep you safe.
Okay, so let's talk about what you should and shouldn't wear when using a table saw. You don't want to wear gloves with this tool as it dulls your sense of touch and your ability to grip. You also want to make sure that you don't have any long, loose sleeves or flowing jewelry that's going to get tangled. And you also want to make sure that you put up your hair and wear goggles.
If you'd like any more in-depth safety tips and do's and don'ts on how to use the table saw, make sure to head on over to bemakeful.com for more details. So we're going to start slowly with the table saw. The way we've designed this coffee table actually requires us to only make one cut. So let's suit up.
All right, so now let's talk design. We have 3 wooden planks here that are gonna make up the top of our table, and then we're gonna have 2 wooden braces to go underneath for a little bit of stability, and then we're gonna finish off with some angled legs for a mid-century modern touch.
So first up, the 2 18-inch pieces will act as braces to go under the table to keep it sturdy. Conveniently, our 1x4 plank is 36 inches long, so all we have to do is cut it directly in half to make the 2 18-inch pieces.
So for this cut, we've removed the blade guard from the top and secured a custom jig to the miter sled. This is the best way to make sure that the wood isn't kicking back. So you want to make sure that you're not leaning in whenever you're using the table saw. You're standing up straight and using your arms to push it through. We want to make sure that we're measuring twice and only cutting once, and you never want to reach behind the blade or over it unless the blade has stopped turning.
So we've pre-marked our wood at the halfway point.
And before we get started, we're going to put on our goggles and our dust masks so there's no sawdust in your nose.
Looks great.
So good. Next step is to sand it using our orbital sander, and this is 220 grit sandpaper. So we now have these pieces all sanded.
And now we have these 4 table legs that we got from the hardware store. We're gonna give them a light sand before we wipe everything down and get ready for staining. So we're gonna apply the stain with these foam brushes here. We're gonna let it sit on the wood for about 5 minutes and wipe off any excess with a rag.
Ooh, that grain really comes through. Come through.
That's beautiful. So once your stain is completely cured, we're gonna place all of our 4-foot planks out on the table, and we're actually using nickels between each board to get an even spacing. And now to add our braces on, we're gonna use some painter's tape and mark 6 inches in from each side so we know where to put our braces. Beautiful.
Cool. And repeat on the other side. So now we know just exactly where we can line up our braces, and we're gonna apply a generous amount of wood glue.
All right.
And just split the difference and make it centered and lined up against your tape.
Look good.
So our next step is to attach the braces even further with 1-inch wood screws. So our angled leg plates are the next step, and we decided to place these so that the higher angle is pointing to the center of our coffee table, and that'll give us a really cool leg angle on our.
Time for the most exciting part.
Adding on the legs. This is where the whole coffee table comes together. Just screw them in.
Oh my goodness, that looks amazing.
You're fast.
Thank you. Leg me.
Whoa, this looks so professional.
And of course, remember to knock out the nickels, unless you want to keep them for a styling choice. See, the table saw wasn't tricky at all. A few simple cuts and some serious care in sanding and staining, and you have yourself a beautiful coffee table. We love how this turned out.
Thank you guys so much for watching the drill down. Make sure you follow @bemakeful and visit bemakeful.com for more DIY projects just like this.
And if you happen to make this project, make sure you use the hashtag #TheDrillDown so that we can see it.
And if you want to see more of us, you can check us out at youtube.com/thesorrygirls.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.